big sound in a small town, far away from the big city lights, making music every night. Good music with all our friends. Tell everybody, tell your mama and them, we're going out and we're getting down. A big sound in a small town. A big sound in a small town. A big sound in a small town. A big sound in a small town.
Hi, and welcome to Big Sound Small Town. I'm your host, Sandy Carlton, and this is a podcast about the lives and stories of the musicians, writers, artists, and their associates that have their roots in the small towns and communities across America. If you like what you hear, tell somebody. Enjoy.
Tennessee.
Well, okay, Sandy. My name is Aaron Burdett. I'm a songwriter and musician from Saulda, North Carolina. Um, Grew up here, went away and did a little traveling and lived up in Boone for 8 or 10 years, in Blowing Rock, and moved back here in 2003, and I've been here in Saulda ever since. That's the short version.
Okay. Well, do you find it hard to work your craft out of Saluda, out of a small town?
No, no.
That's great.
I don't play a lot here in town. I mean, we have a good venue here, Purple Onion, where I
Right.
did sort of cut my teeth, and I
Yeah.
do play there
I
2 or 3
played there.
times a year.
Yeah.
But well, and everything's so upside down now.
Oh, yeah.
With the industry being shut down, that nobody even knows. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
We don't know what's going on.
we don't. And, anything that I schedule, I've turned around and had to have it unscheduled. So,
Yeah, we're not even. I just got just another inquiry the other day, and it was just like, we're not, until things clear up a little bit. There's no point in even. We're just going to wait it out.
Yeah.
We're just going to wait it out.
yeah, I mean, well, actually, it seems the 2020 and early 2021 has been pretty good to you. I mean,
Yeah,
you put out some pretty good music. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, we have. It's been really. It's been odd. It's odd to me, but we started putting out with this trio that we've been playing with for the last couple of years. We started putting out music a little more based on that. And actually, I think right at the beginning of 2020, when Rockefeller came out, I think that was the first one we put out, and it just clicked and did real well on bluegrass radio. See, now the past decade, in which we've recorded 3 or 4 albums, they were a little more of our Americana 5-piece band type setup. And we had, I don't know, 4 years ago, I'd started branching out. I won't say out, almost like branching back, and doing more duo and shows, which sort of led into this acoustic trio. Because I'm not a bluegrass player, but I kind of come from that zone.
Right.
So we had been doing both, and we went in. Matter of fact, we went in and recorded 3 or 4 songs as the full band that we were going to release, and then sat down with the record label and decided, you know what, we don't want to do this. We don't want to do this again. We've been doing this for a while, and I had recently been getting just a lot of really good response from this trio. And
how did that trio come about, actually? I mean,
well, to be perfectly honest, it started because supporting a band and traveling with a band was just so difficult. The places we were able to play, we weren't making $2,500 a night or anything. It's really hard to travel with a 5-piece rock band.
I agree.
And to pay them. And so we were getting in some different places. We were able to play some more intimate spaces and actually make more money.
Right.
And this other thing that I've seen now but didn't see that well then is I put so much effort and time into my writing and my lyrics and the songs.
Right.
And the trio, which really started as a duo, just me and James Burnaby playing him on the mandolin. I don't know if you know him.
I do.
And that presentation just allowed a lot more space for the songs. And while there was more energy sometimes with the full band, we just found that we were getting a way better reaction out of this acoustic deal.
Well, I guess as a songwriter, I guess you can play more of a listening type room,
Yes,
which as a songwriter is key for people to hear your words, as opposed to, I mean, you guys rocked it up pretty good as a 5-piece band.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people hear your
but the
lyrics.
songs were lost. The songs were lost. You know, I mean the nuances in the songs were lost.
Sure.
So anyway, we picked up Kim when we went out to play the Okra Folk Festival. We'd been playing with a guy who, off and on, who fell out, and then Kim, who I knew vaguely from our time when we lived in Boone together, she stepped in and pinch hit, and then we just kind of kept with it. James Burnaby backed out a couple years ago, I guess, and we picked up Daniel Ullum out of Asheville, and we've been playing together ever since. And anyway, we went back in and re-recorded songs. Like Dirt Poor, we had recorded as a full band. We recorded a bunch of songs. We went back in and redid all the band songs as these trio songs, and that's what we started releasing in early 2020.
Well, you know, it's before I forget it too, Kim sings very well with you. That's a good vocal blend.
I think so too. I think so too.
I mean, I heard you when you went to as a trio when you went to WNCW. And I was just like, wow, you know. I mean, I'd heard you as a band, but then I thought, wow, I really, really like this. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes your songs stand out so much. The lyrical content is.
I think so too.
Comes out.
So I mean, we've just been following up with that, and it's some of the best things that happen are not things you expect, and we just kind of following up what works, and we just keep going in and recording and releasing stuff like that, and it just keeps doing better and better. So, matter of fact, we've had. I think our last shows we played were late February of last year. We were down in Florida, and came back, and pretty soon after that, it all started shutting down. And but during 2020, we had all these songs that we had on sort of a backlog, still do, that we were releasing, and they just kept doing better and better on bluegrass radio, which is completely new for me. But it's great. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's so strange because on the one hand, we haven't played a lick together in 12 months, but we're doing better in the industry than we ever have. So.
That's kind of funny the way that works. And, you know, okay, so I hear Rockefeller as not really totally bluegrass, and then when I hear the recording of it, well, you got a banjo on there, which really ticks it over into it, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And Rockefeller blew up. I mean, did you know that song would blow up like that?
I don't have any. I know nothing.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Songs I think of mine that I think should do really well never do, and then other ones people love to death, and it's like I don't even really, that's not even one of my favorite things. So
this one we just put out is doing really well.
Losers bracket,
Losers bracket. That's right, and I'm grateful for it, and we'll just keep on doing it. And I feel real good because we've got a bunch of them stacked up, ready to release that are very similar, or at least in the same vein.
So you got a release date on something else?
No. Oh, well, yeah. Actually, I don't know. We're recording this on. This is March 1st, right? I think later this month we're releasing a new song called Arlo.
Okay.
That's coming out in 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember exactly the date.
I'll match this podcast up with that, so it'll.
Yeah.
Did you just do Joe? Did you just do Joe's too, Joe Kendricks?
No, I did Joe's very first. I was the very first one to do that, and that was probably 5 or 6 years ago. That was a long time. Yeah,
I know,
sure we'll
Joe.
have to do a refresher.
I've been on Joe's podcast about my time both as a player at Green Acres and as as a music listener, on his first podcast, which was pretty cool. And Joe's doing pretty well. He just actually recorded episode for me that I'm going to tie into a Rutherford County version later on. But so
yeah, I like Joe's great.
Yeah, Joe's great. He's good for music. He really is. So let me ask you, at what age did you realize that maybe you wanted to be okay? Let me back that up. Okay, you're an excellent vocalist. Did that? I guess that came before the writing.
Yeah. Yes, I was singing pretty early. Excuse me. Like I had, and I don't remember exactly, but I know by the time I was 8 or 10, it was clear that I could sing because I was singing some solo songs at church or, for the offertory or, singing some stuff in plays at elementary school. I remember I could sing. And then I think when I was about 12, I got a Yamaha acoustic guitar loaned or given from a friend of the family. And then I remember I couldn't sing for a couple of years. I guess my voice was changing.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
And then, or I just don't remember trying to do it that much. And then I feel like by the time I was about 14 or 15 years old, suddenly I was able to sing a little bit and play a little bit. And, my Mel Bay chord book. Sure. Yeah, that was just sort of where it all started. Playing in the bedroom at home, just sort of, I don't know, sort of engrossed in it.
Did you remember your first time you got paid to sing?
That probably, technically speaking, would have been in my late teens or early 20s with Snake Oil Medicine Show in Boone.
Right.
Occasionally they would have me come travel around with them for a few nights because I could take over for 2 or 3 songs.
Right.
And they'd pay me $40 or something.
Oh yeah, that's great.
But
is that what put the fire in you to decide to go out and do this?
I don't know.
Snake
Oil.
Was...
you kind of follow things that this whole musicianship and trying to play and get paid for it. They're it's complicated. They're very different things.
Yeah, it is.
I'm fond of. I like the difference between the artistry and the industry, and they come together sometimes, but sometimes they're very separate.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of following up on something people told me I was good at. I know that when I was in my mid-teens, I played a talent show at my brand new high school I went to as a sophomore, and I remember I played a couple songs. I played Brown Eyed Girl, and I think I played Clapton's Wonderful Tonight.
Yeah.
And on my acoustic in the middle of the stage there. And I do know that there were a lot of girls talking to me afterwards.
Yeah, I bet.
Wouldn't have given me the time of day
yeah.
2 hours before. And I recognize that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got positive attention for doing it.
Yeah.
And so that helped, that reinforcement. Sure. I know I originally got into it because it was just sort of something I could do that was mine. It was a place to hide a little bit.
Yeah.
So then it probably wasn't until my 20s that I really started trying to write, and it wasn't very good. It was real good at the time. It was as good as I could do at the time.
Right.
Which is the same thing I can say about the songs I'm writing right now. It's as good as I could do at the time. I don't know in hindsight, where that's going to be. I
Well,
was thinking on the way home, actually, when you're asking how do you get there, I remember thinking, it's like you just go to whatever the next thing is, and then you go, and then you see and you can go to the next thing, and then the next thing. But that thing was impossible to even see or comprehend from the first thing you started at.
true.
Like it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's sort of non-linear. You just kind of follow the light in front of you,
Yeah.
and it goes in different directions.
I remember going to Curl Folk Festival as a songwriter, thinking I was the best songwriter in the world.
Yeah.
And because I was the best songwriter I knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I get there, and it was like a light went off. Man, you aren't even close to good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a real turning point for me. I mean, it was like a kick in the balls, really. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not even close to. I don't know why I even thought that. Sometimes it's just a light that goes off that thinks I've got to improve at what I'm doing if I'm going to actually continue to do this.
Well, and you have to follow up on the thing that you do well. I mean, there's something you do in your songs that nobody does quite the same way.
True, yeah.
And it's either the language or the phrasing or the concept or something, but you don't, you can't, and how many open mics did I go to where there's a less than, better than, oh, I'm better than them. Oh, I'm not as good as them. I'm better than them. There's no sort of like, and that's when you're striving harder. And I've been striving for years and years and years. And I'm not striving as hard right now, but I'm doing a lot better. And I'm not sure which one of those is a chicken or an egg.
Yeah.
But over time, I've started to realize that it's not a quantity thing as much as a quality thing. And
True.
And everybody, it's apples and oranges. Like everybody's different.
And there's no guidebook to go to, and there's not really anybody you can turn to and go, hey, what do I do next, or what do I need to do? I mean, it's that for songwriters, that's just not there. You can find somebody to help you with your guitar playing, your bass playing, but with your songwriting, you've pretty much got to figure that stuff out.
That's true. It's true. It's sort of trial and error and figure out what works. And it's very helpful to have somebody else whose opinion and work you respect.
True.
That you can sort of talk about that. I don't claim to have that in my day-to-day life right now very often.
Also, you have to get used to getting your feelings hurt if you want the truth.
Right.
I mean, somebody's got to say, it's a pretty good song, but you need to rewrite that second line, or no, that whole song is lame, and that hurts your feelings.
Or more like the producer we've been working with over at the record label a lot, most recently, John Weisberger, he'll say, we'll go in and play some stuff, and he'll be like, oh yeah. That one's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Come, it's just a way, and he's right. Cause you're like, cause if I'm not feeling it, nobody else is either.
Sure.
I tell you, one of the most valuable things to me, like I had a friend just tell me today about this Losers Bracket song. It's like, oh man, you've really cracked something here. Your songs are just getting so much better. And I'm like, you know what? There's a lot less. All these new songs we're putting out, there's less words. They're shorter. There's less to them, but they're treading water better than the ones with 3 verses and a bridge.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you think about that, obviously you're getting your point across with, you were just talking about quality as opposed to quantity.
Yeah. Less is more. I mean, that's been my real trick lately is, not every song has to have verse 1, 1, 2, 3, and a bridge, right. And a jam out at the end.
Right.
I love that, but I'm learning a lot more from the economy side of things.
Did you think it was good? I mean, okay, we're going back and we're recording this. Did you get an inkling of an idea that before you did this, that, hey, maybe this is going to take off?
No, I have no idea. I have no idea. Here's what I know. I know when we perform these songs in front of humans, they love it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always translate to the recording.
No, it doesn't.
I really don't. I really don't know how any of this works anymore. It's. I mean, really, I don't. I feel fortunate that there's a lot of things that have sort of come together. This trio we put together, the fact that we're on a label that has a strong legacy presence in the bluegrass market,
Right.
and also that between the time when I signed with them in, I don't know, 2013 or 14 or whatever.
You were one of their very first artists, were you
That's
not?
true. I was one of the first two or three, and between that time and now, the definition of what is, I'm doing air quotes, quote unquote, bluegrass,
Right.
has broadened out to where we sort of fit into it. So there are a bunch of different forces that have put us, in the, in the place we are now, which is, I mean, we're not making $1 million, but it starts to feel like, oh, you know what? When things open up, we might be able to actually earn half a living playing a little bit.
Right.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, you don't. But I mean, it has been a good run. I mean, and I still like your other stuff. But that's good. I mean, that's some real good stuff you put out here of late.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's just a bunch of different factors. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's working. So
Yeah.
do you have?
I'll take it.
Do you? I mean, they're kind of gone these days. Do you have anybody working that for you, or is this just organically taking off? I mean,
well, they are able to organic and Mountain Home. They're able to plug into their existing infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They have relationships with all those people. They do not have the same. They do not have the same long-term relationship with the Americana
right.
arm of the industry. So I think being able to, I just keep saying, being able to plug into their existing infrastructure has been helpful.
Well, I know that I like they do good about selecting their artists. I know several of them, and they have common elements, but there's enough difference in them to where everybody gets to retain their own individual thing without it being totally labeled bluegrass. I mean,
it has, and organic is not. They have their true bluegrass.
They do
labels,
yeah,
and we're certainly not on that.
Mountain Home, I guess, would be
Mountain Home. That's right, and their gospel side, Sunlight, and
I forgot about them.
Yeah, so I mean, they've got. It has been interesting to watch them sort of build it over time, and a few artists have come and gone, but when they'd sign somebody, it's like, oh, I see what you're doing. I see. You sort of building a little community of artists where it's like, oh, I see you. I see what you're doing here. This is sort of a long-term play.
I think it's a cool label. I really do. I think it's, super
nice people.
You have these. There's something about being on a label like that. Oh Boy used to be that way. It's they're building more than selling records. I think.
Building the character of the people that are on there, just sort of building a personality.
Yeah,
cumulative personality.
Yeah, I agree. And those are it's hard for people who just see the big billboard picture of either bluegrass or country to realize most people really don't understand what goes into everything in between there. I mean, it's hard to, a lot of times, I'm having pretty good success. Well, is it Eric Church type success? Well, no, it's not, but it's a totally different thing. I mean, it's more based around the art. Well, I need to cover this with you. Do you have a songwriting team?
No, no,
I mean,
no,
I mean,
I don't.
you know how Asheville works these days, right? I mean,
No, I'm just
6 people.
no. I've never done any co-writing, and I'm not real eager to. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I'm certainly not seeking it out. That's just not. That's not what I'm about currently.
Yeah. I mean, I do understand that 99% of the stuff I've written in my life has been by myself, without a team, without a co-writer. I mean, I've co-written, but and been paid to co-write, but it's I can't feel like those are my songs.
Well, and having to me the most important, actually, I think the most important thing to me is having a few people that you can bounce things off of.
Yeah.
A good producer,
Good producer.
a good A&R guy, just somebody that you can say, "Hey, check this out," and they'll that have are wise enough to say, "Yeah, oh wait, that's good. No, you need to go with that one. No, finish that." And be able to go and say, "Look, I got these 6 half songs here. Are any of these worth of crap?"
Yeah.
And somebody that you can trust, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, go with that one."
Oh yeah, I do that a lot too. I have these pieces, and some of the guys I play in the band with, I'll say, "Listen, I'm not asking you to finish this. I'm asking you to tell me whether I need to finish it or not."
Yes.
And sometimes they mess with me and say, "No, that's trash," and then they'll call me back and say, "I was just messing with you," but it's hard to bounce things off of them trustfully. I mean,
I understand that.
If they like it, I guess if they like it, they're pretty much on it right off the bat. But sometimes the in betweens, it's like, I don't know.
Well, and I don't want to present anything till it's. See, I don't. I have any number of, I don't know, hundreds of things in my notebook, but I I really only tend to finish the ones that are feeling right.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have a bunch of finished songs. It's like, oh, that's garbage. It's more like they don't get the attention to get finished unless I'm feeling like they're pretty close.
Do you write in blocks? I mean, does it come to you flows for a while, or do you work at it every day?
Well, I've been in a little bit of a not dry spell. I just haven't.
COVID has done that, man. I tell you what, I thought I would write a lot during this time, and I've written, but I thought I would write a lot more than what I have.
Well, I have been. I poke away at it a little bit at a time. I'm more like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
Right.
I've been real busy with my day job through this whole ordeal, which has been a great blessing. But it's
Have you been able to work?
Working takes up a lot of time. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah, it does. I had a day job for 37 years. Not if I worked for the post office for 37 years. So
nice.
Great retirement, but it sucked as a job.
Yeah.
Always too hot, always too cold, always too wet. You know how it goes. People make you not like people so much,
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But have you been able to work a day job during this time?
I have a construction company.
I thought you did, but I was trying to get that out there so you can.
No. We build homes, and like I said, with the trio, where just these weird things happen, and you kind of follow where it goes. COVID started happening. Music disappeared. Live performance disappeared. And my building business just exploded.
Yeah, it has. I mean,
and had it happened when I was trying to play, I don't know that I could have done either of them well. So it's just like, all right, well, I'll just follow the light this way for a little bit. Maybe what I need to be doing is paying off some debt,
right?
Maybe saving up some money so that I can afford to be a musician again someday. So yes, I've been extremely busy, and I'm grateful for it. And I've been getting up. I get up early and practice my guitar, and maybe write, work on a little song for a minute. But then it gets crazy, and I don't really come up for air until 5 or 6 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew you were busy that way too. I do enough research to realize that's what you had that going on, and everyone I know that's in that business right now is going full tilt.
That's right, and I'm grateful for it. Good Lord, I've had some really tough times. Even just a couple of years ago, we were dead in the water and didn't know how anything was going to work out, and over time somehow it does.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Shelby, and I've seen the housing market here. Yeah. I see people put houses up for sale today and have an offer today.
Yeah, exactly. And above asking price.
Oh yeah, I've seen bidding wars with people I know over their house, and it's like, wow. Yeah. And then I know some builders, and they seem to be working themselves to death too. So.
Pretty much, people are trying to move out of cities and move here to where Saulda is just far enough outside of Asheville that we're about 35, 40 minutes.
Sure, it's a great place. I mean, I can see where you'd like to live there. You get the benefits.
Well, my family, as a matter of fact, my entire family is here now.
Really?
My parents still live here. My 2 brothers are here. One of them has lived here for a while. The other one lived in Chicago and moved back right when COVID was feeling a little more apocalyptic than it is now. In it felt like zombie times in March.
Yeah, I've had 2 COVID shots, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little scarier.
It was really scary for a while.
Early spring, it was just sort of like, what is this? So anyway, he didn't have any more ties up there and was like, you know what, I am out of here. And so he came back home.
I'm sure he likes the winter better than Chicago.
Definitely. And he's working with me now, which is wonderful. Yeah. So anyway, my whole family's here. It's great. I mean,
did you grow up there?
I did. We moved here when I was about 4, so all my formative years were here.
Man, that's cool because Saulda is Asheville access without having to deal with Asheville.
Pretty much, yeah. It's gotten a little crazy up there. The road traffic's bad. I haven't been anywhere in a long time. Yeah. But I go to job sites, but they're mostly outside, and I don't.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, it's a
good spot.
Yeah, it's a good spot. I got a grandson that plays soccer at UNC Asheville.
Yeah,
and of course I don't get to go see him play. So, I mean, they're playing, but I haven't got to go see him play. So. Everything's still kind of shut down, although I see clubs opening back up in Asheville a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how any of that works. I can't believe it. I can't believe clubs need to be at 80% capacity to even pretend to make any.
Oh, I can't see how they're making any money, and I can't see how they're paying anybody any money because
I can't either.
I got a friend who's on Mountain Home. Carly Airwood. I don't know if you know Carly or not.
Oh yeah, she played on some of these songs. She played on I think she plays on Arlo, the one that's coming out. She's played on 2 or 3 of them, and I don't remember which ones right now.
She's
they
fantastic.
Must be unreleased. She's great.
Yeah, she played with Brooke and Darren there for a while, but she's on her own. But I saw she actually played up there this weekend and at ISIS, and I was thinking, I wonder how they can do that. And make
was it inside?
Yeah, I think it was inside.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think it's some low capacity thing. I just don't want to fool with it till it makes more sense. That's just me.
There's places around Shelby that I don't. Apparently, they've never shut down, but I haven't played any of them just because. There again, I can't think that there's much money in it, and I. Certainly when they've been doing it, I kind of worried about getting sick. I mean, nothing good ever happens in a club and alcohol under normal circumstances. So with COVID, it can't be that good,
Well, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. And I mean, I know it is for some people, that's fine. It just hasn't made sense for me.
Well, some of the people that I've seen doing it aren't people that, I can't say that without.
Yeah, you're being recorded, man.
Yeah,
you just back off of that one.
Yeah. some people will go out and play for anything. That's the people that kind of bring down everything. So, yeah, I can't. I have to stop on that one. So, so, but I mean, I think it's right to wait the stuff out and see what happens. I mean, as opposed to going out and playing right now.
It's going to be fine. It's just going to take a while.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, and I for my friends that are in the food service industry and, just hospitality and music and stuff, it's just been awful. And
booking agents.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, tell me what 10% of nothing is.
Exactly.
That's what you're welcome to.
Yeah.
It's been a mess.
It's
been a mess, and I don't know how it's going to sort out. I'm thrilled to have had this sort of parallel careers where I could just sort of step over into the other one for a couple of years, and I.
Well, I think you're lucky there. Yeah,
I agree.
It's so when you do go back out, I guess, of course, you can't tell. I mean, by the time you're ready to go back out, you might be back into a full band mode. Who knows?
Who knows? No, we won't. We'll be doing this trio thing, man. I mean, we may do. Seems like with some of what we've been doing, we may need to bring Derek or somebody on playing a banjo a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of liking the stripped down thing.
Man,
it seems to suit better. It suits a little better.
If you can get Kim back from the.
Get her off the boat.
Yeah, if the boat don't eat her up.
She'll get seasick eventually.
She's a good addition too, man.
She's the best. She
did a great interview for me. She's I like her. She's good. So
yeah, she's a good egg.
And so yes, man, what else do we need to know?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I really don't.
Did you get rid of all your electric guitars?
Heck no, I'm looking at a few of them right now. They're all right here in my little collection in my office.
Yeah.
No, I mean we'll still do. As a matter of fact, sometimes I'll play my little semi-hollow body it's been so long. I'll play a couple songs on that just to mix it up.
Yeah.
But no, mostly playing this acoustic stuff.
That's
cool. A little easier. It's less gear.
The whole that whole part of the industry has changed too. I mean, you don't have all the stuff, and particularly with not going with a full band, you don't have all the equipment to haul.
No drums.
No drums.
No 410 bass cabinet.
No. I'm a bass player these days. Sometimes, kind of a lot, but I've even got my rig down to a 5-pound head and 20-pound cabinet. So I mean, modern technology. It's great.
Now I do need to build a special space for the upright bass in the van. That's what we're going to do next.
She told me one time she was looking for a folding bass, and I played upright bass long enough to know, trust me, they just don't work. You just got to stick it in there and go with it.
And figure it out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you do the flat and scrugs tied on top of the...
She even bought one for a minute and got rid of it. She had one for about a week.
I can understand why she got rid of it. I mean, those things are...
That's what it was.
I've been around people that's had them, and it's like, I'm getting rid of this. It's not working. So,
yeah.
But still, I know that's good. So, how are you? Is there a schedule for you to put out this new stuff? I mean, are we doing this monthly, or are we doing this?
This is a good question. About every 6 weeks or so. But I mean, I think what they're kind of doing is, we have, I'll say 30% of what we've recorded is real suitable to the sort of bluegrass radio market we've been approaching, and a lot of it is just more like not quite as appropriate for that. So they're kind of releasing the songs to the radio in whatever cadence it feels like they need to be. You know, while
Right.
one's getting played a lot, they're not going to put out another one.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then all these other songs will put out in between. So I think it's supposed to be about every 6 weeks or so.
Then will you at some point? I guess this will turn into a record,
Yes.
which would in the old days been a compilation, but in the way it works these days, it's a record. You know, I mean,
It is, and we would have one out now, except that with there being no performance and no
Right.
touring,
nothing to back it up. Yeah,
nobody's wanting to make it.
and it's the new listening America. I mean, it's almost the 45 era again.
Yeah, it is a little bit. It is a little bit.
I mean, you know, you can get used to. Nobody would pay attention to you if you even did an EP, but
Yeah.
now, well, you see what's happening with individual releases.
Well, it's helped us a lot. Last year was 2020 is when we started doing it, and it has really helped us just to keep something fresh. I mean, instead of putting out 12 songs every 12 to 18 months,
Right.
And then being silent for a year, put out one every 6 weeks, and just keep the conversation going for the short attention span.
Well, and I think that's the way it works these days too. One of the things too I'm learning is that when you take time off, if you're not putting something out, you lose momentum and people almost forget about you.
Yep.
I see Darren and Brooke Aldridge. Man, they put something out all the time just so they'll stay current. I mean, so people don't forget they're there.
That's right.
And I think
that's the trick.
I think it's the trick these days because those that don't, it's like, people kind of forget that you were on a roll before that happened, and so it's kind of weird.
Definitely.
You actually, I'm real tickled for your success, and I'll be looking forward to the next release and looking forward to seeing you out live again, maybe by the fall, end of the summer and the fall.
Good. Yeah, thanks, Sandy. I'm glad we finally got to catch up.
I am too, man. We didn't really go into all the contests you won. Do we want to do that?
Well, I mean, we've I've been entering them for a while. That's sort of one of the things you do when you're a songwriter and you don't know what the heck else to do.
Right.
I went up to Merle Fest with a song called Magpie and 12 or 13 or something like that.
Right.
And then what else? Last year we won the A Couple Broken Windows won that USA Songwriting.
Yeah, and that's a good song too. I mean. And
then we're going to, whenever Merle Fest happens again, Rockefeller is in that competition again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's one of the 3 bluegrass songs for 2020, and then, of course, it got canceled.
Right. That's kind of crazy.
There's something else, too, isn't there? But, yeah, I still throw one in the hat every now and then. I don't know.
That's cool. I mean,
It's one of those things that when I was, 10 years ago, it would have been a huge deal, and today acting like it's not. It probably is. But it's just it's funny how like I said earlier, about you just do the next thing and the next thing, and then that thing seems normal, but you couldn't have seen it from 3 steps before.
Right. Yeah. And
I hope they have Merle Fest this year.
I hope they have Merle Fest there too. It's I've played there and I've been there as a songwriter, so it's been Merle Fest is fun. I hope they have it again too. Who knows?
I don't know if they'll be able to. We'll have to see.
My connection right now is, of course, I do this. I'm not today. It's out of the house, but I do this out of the Earl Scruggs Center. Generally.
Okay, yeah.
And their big thing is, are they going to be able to have the Earl Scruggs Festival?
Yeah.
And
what's the date of that? When's that supposed to be?
Labor Day. And it's at the Equestrian Center there in Polk County.
Yeah.
And, that's a big indoor building. If it was out of doors, I might feel pretty confident about it. But indoors, I don't know.
We just have to wait and see. That's the story of this couple of years. Just wait and see.
Yeah, it didn't happen last year when they were trying to have the inaugural one. So maybe it'll happen this time.
I hope so.
It would be good. At some point when you get back to playing, I also do a live deal similar to a tiny desktop, kind of like Studio B. I'd love for you guys to come down and do it out of their old Scruggs Center.
Okay, we'll do it.
You know, it's pretty good. I have the Big Sound Small Town TV, which has that stuff. And I actually, you know, any of the guys in Songs from the Road band?
Yes, I do.
I was going to interview Mark, and Mark says, "Hey, do you care if Charles comes along?" I said, "No, I don't have a problem at all." Next thing I know, the whole band's there. And during this pandemic, we did do inside of the Scruggs Center them live from the Earl Scruggs Center. I mean, it worked. We wore masks. We stayed apart pretty well. No one got sick and has gotten sick from it. But it was fun. I mean, I would have told you that could not have happened, but it did. And
those guys couldn't stop playing if they wanted to.
I don't think they could. No, I think you're right. You know, I mean, it was the deal. I was just going to do an interview. Next thing I know, I have a whole full up band. So
yeah, they can't help it. They can't help it.
No, they can't help it. That's true.
They have to play.
They do have to play. Aaron, I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy work schedule.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. Nice talking to you. I enjoyed catching up and taking a little break from what I was thinking about before.
That sounds good. Well, go write something that's going to be a hit, man.
All right, I'll do it.
Take care.
You too, bud.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Drops of high life under a white oak in the rain. I'll stay dry for a while anyway. I'll be a grandpa come November. I did okay at the wedding. If I say the right words at the right time, I can come off as a pretty good guy. One more stop along the way. Load me up heavy, I can take the pain. I wish I could go back and do it again without the stress, just the happiness. I'm 63 years old now, still living hand to mouth, work at the aluminum plant, till Uncle Sam starts paying out 140 by the furnace. 92 outside, comes in raw on the left of the building. Goes out aircraft grade on the right. One more stop along the way. Load me up heavy, I can take the pain. I wish I could go back and do it again without the stress, just the happiness. In time, intention slips away. I never thought I'd see the day when all my children had grown and moved too far away. I'll keep molding metal as long as they can pay, just like they've molded me into what I am today. My mom died on the 16th. I hugged her as I was leaving. I didn't know she was gone till I got the message at home. I had to work that night at the mill. Didn't tell anyone there. Shatterproof goggles on my eyes. At break time, I'm in the bathroom